Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football, and it's exciting because it's striker moves in the transfer market for the Premier League. Solanke, Omorodion and also Ivan Toney. The Premier League transfer window may have been a little bit slow, but goals win games and teams are looking at strikers. Fabrizio Romano talking about Solanke to Spurs, Chelsea going for Omorodion from Atletico Madrid with Conor Gallagher going the other way. Is he going to be the solution? We thought it might be Osman a couple of weeks ago. They're now going for another younger striker who some people are saying is just very similar to Lukaku. Big striker, very powerful, but not great finishing rate, not great first touch. But could he be the answer to Chelsea's long problem of getting the ball in the back of the net? And Ivan Toney, a proven Premier League striker, why is it nobody is looking to take him? I don't get it. Maybe you do. Get in the comments. But look, let's start off with the big news this morning. And it's coming in from Fabrizio Romano that Tottenham are underway in their move to get Dominic Solanke out of Bournemouth. Understand Tottenham are pushing to get the deal done. Talks underway with Bournemouth. Solanke's given the green light to Spurs as negotiations are ongoing to find an agreement. Tottenham wants Solanke, and that is from Fabrizio Romano. I mean, from a Bournemouth point of view, that's a major blow, isn't it? Just before the start of the season, losing your star player, your star striker to Spurs. For Spurs, is this the sort of striker they should be going for? They definitely need one. We know they're about to get that Saudi Arabian check with Richarlison heading off there as well. That's getting very, very close. It's been a rumour all summer. That's where he is heading. So, you know, that's going to give Spurs a lot of money to go and buy Solanke, and that's going to be a lot of money for Bournemouth. But I think what I find really interesting about Solanke is, and I forget how old he is. He's 26. He's actually going to be 27 in a few weeks' time. How much are they going to pay for him? The fee is going to be really interesting. What would you pay for Solanke? I think if Spurs get this deal done for anywhere around 50 million, they've done really well. And I'm pitching that in. I don't know. I've not heard what the price will be. But if they can get that done for anywhere around 50 million pounds, that's not too bad. I don't know how long he's got left on his contract, but it's a proven Premier League striker who has got that pedigree, and it's a player certainly that Spurs need. They need a proven Premier League striker. So his contract situation is that he's actually got a contract till 2027, so 3 years left on his deal. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what they end up paying for him, because yeah, that to me looks like a very intelligent deal for Spurs. Solanke has earned that right at Bournemouth to play at a higher level. We've seen Ollie Watkins do it from Brentford to Villa. We've seen Isaac come into Newcastle from Spain and do it. This is just Solanke's chance to try and prove that he can do it at a higher level in the Premier League, and it's a very exciting deal for Spurs. Certainly. I just wonder why they didn't go for Ivan Toney. And I don't understand that. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I would say Toney's better than Solanke. I don't know, get in the comments. But there just seems to be some reason. And there was that rumour that Arsenal backed off months ago because they just didn't feel he was a good fit for their squad. I really thought Spurs would be nailed on. Maybe Chelsea. I mean, look, the stupid thing is he might still end up at Man United. And as a Man United fan, I'd be sort of like, but why didn't Arsenal, Spurs and Chelsea want him? It's just a little bit like weird to me. But that's not taking anything away from Spurs and Solanke looking like a very, very intelligent deal for Spurs. At the end of the day, if you were saying as a Spurs fan, we're going to replace Richarlison with Solanke at the end of last season, you'd say yes, please. And the financials will probably not be far off the same in relation to the fees that you get for Richarlison and then you spend on Solanke. So be difficult for Bournemouth to replace, but we know that clubs like Bournemouth and Brighton, they have to operate in this market where you sell big and then you bring somebody in again and hopefully they'll be able to find a replacement. Omorodion, or however you pronounce it, from Atletico Madrid, he's heading to Chelsea. 20-year-old, he's been at Atletico Madrid for a year. Tall, I think he's about 6'4", quick, strong, good in the air, not so good on finishing, not so good on link-up play, but he's 20 years of age. You know, you can work on that. What do I think about this deal? What do you think about this deal as a Chelsea fan and as a non-Chelsea fan? It just seems a little bit familiar. I can't think of names, but I think Chelsea have done this, where they go for this striker that's not proven, and hope that they're going to be the next Drogba, the next guy that's going to score them a load of goals. And it's a risk. Of course it's a risk. Chelsea have gone down this route quite a few times now, spent on players that aren't the finished article. I was quite intrigued and excited when I did the video a couple of weeks ago about Osimhen coming into the Premier League, and I think that would, as a United fan, scare me more than Omorodion, because I think that Osimhen is a top-class striker with the potential to score a lot of goals in the Premier League, whereas this young lad is pure potential, and you just don't know how that's going to work. It does feel a little bit familiar, like I say. You know, we've seen so many Chelsea strikers choke and not be good enough. And, you know, maybe Nicholas Jackson gets a lot of critics. I've certainly been critical of him. But I think when you look at what Chelsea have had in the past, and you look at what Man City have got with Haaland, you know, Chelsea have won Premier League titles in the last 10 years. They've won more than Man United have. They've won more than Arsenal have. I think they've won more than Liverpool have in the last 10 years. In fact, in the last 10 years, Chelsea have won more titles than anybody, than probably Man City. So I think that, you know, Chelsea have a right to expect to be ambitious enough to be winning the Premier League again. And to do that, you've got to have a striker that's going to score you 20 Premier League goals a season. Now, if you've got Ollie Watkins up front, or you've got Isak up front, or you've got Haaland up front, then you're going to do that. Is this young lad from Atletico Madrid going to do that for Chelsea? Well, I don't think he's going to do it straight away. Whether he can do it in the future, we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. Chelsea's transfer policy is one of hit and miss, isn't it? It's sketchy at best. And he's very, very highly thought of. He could go on to become one of the best strikers in Europe, of course. But there is that element of risk there. And I think if you asked most Chelsea fans, they'd probably want Osimhen as well. Over this lad. So obviously that deal can't happen, so you've got to look elsewhere. I don't think Nicholas Jackson was the right striker to bring in a year ago, and I don't think this is the right striker to bring in now. I think Chelsea need an established goal scorer. They create a lot of chances traditionally over the last 2 years, but they don't put the ball in the back of the net, and that leads to frustration. That leads to a loss of confidence within the team. They need somebody who can lead that line with confidence and personality. And a 20-year-old might do that, but it's a big ask. But, you know, it's an exciting player. There's no doubt about that. He's got his qualities, and, you know, players have come in the past with a bit of an unknown, and they suddenly hit the ground running, so we'll just have to wait and see. I suppose the question is, would I, as a Chelsea fan, want Ivan Toney over Omorodion? Yeah. Because I think Ivan Toney is exactly what Chelsea need. You know, he's got the right age profile, he's got the right personality, he's Premier League proven, and you stick him up front for Chelsea and he's going to believe from day one, and he's going to score you a lot of goals from day one. I just don't get it at this point why Chelsea are going for a 20-year-old, Spurs are going for Solanke, Arsenal aren't bothering. It just seems a bit weird to me that you've got this Premier League proven striker, and yes, he's had his problems, but he served the ban. He was part of the England team in the Euros, so there can't be that many issues around him. But nobody wants to take that punt on Ivan Toney. And I don't even think it's because Brentford are pricing him out of the market. Like, the market's there to be worked with, and Brentford have got a decision to make because they'll lose him for nothing in a year. So you could probably pop in and offer 40 million and get him. But nobody just seems to want to take it. And I just don't get it. I think if you put him up front for Chelsea, basically, if you're offering me the lad from Atletico Madrid or Ivan Toney at Chelsea, what do I think as a rival? I would rather they went for the lad from Atletico Madrid because there's more chance of it failing. I think with Chelsea and Ivan Toney, he'd score a lot of goals. He's perfect. So, again, I don't really get it. I mean, he could have been an option for Spurs. I think he's better than Solanke, but I still think Solanke's a good signing. Arsenal could do with a striker like that as well. It's just weird. It's really weird. Anyway, get your comments in below. What are your thoughts on those 3 striker stories? And are they good deals? Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. At least the transfer window is starting to hot up a bit. Take care. I'll speak to you all in a bit.